can't believe that we're doing this again already. We're out here on Hirschfelden multiplayer, and we're pretty much just going to run around and see if we can find anything good, but we did this about a month ago. We spent, I think, 4 hours out here, and I think in the end we didn't get anything special at all, so maybe we can do a little bit better than that this time. And this particular server does happen to be Red Fox drink time, so maybe we're onto something. We're going to check a couple of good Red Fox drink spots first, and then we'll kind of go from there. I am pretty much certain that red deer right there is a piebald hind, and that would just about be the way with Hirschfelden. We're out here looking for red fox. There's not a single fox drinking at this lake, but pretty sure that is, like I said, a piebald red deer, and it's going to be real tough. I can see it. Should be that one. Wanted to go for a 7mm heart shot. It's going to be lungs, and because we have the 7mm, I was pretty confident that we could get it down in time. And especially there's something going on with hills and mountains in the game where animals just kind of struggle to actually navigate them. So she didn't run that far. That'll be a pretty decent start, but I wanted to come up here into Rottwell just to look for a fox in all these lakes, and there's not been really any, but not a bad way to kind of get started off here. But as I was saying there, animals just seem to have an issue with like being on any kind of incline. So our piebald is down just right here. Still, like I said, not a bad way to kind of get started off here. Managed to get left lung. I thought it was more like 350 meters, so we were maybe a little too high, but close to getting the heart on a shot completely in the dark. So hopefully that's a sign of good things to come out here on Hirschfelden, but we'll have to try to avoid whatever this is going to be. So it's taken a bit of tracking, but we finally have a decent red fox. And kind of needed a quick shot in there, and I think we were just a little bit far forward. He kind of started to turn away a bit when we took that shot, and we must have not gotten a lung. It's going to probably take him down before we can get a follow-up, but it's the first decent one we've seen, and it's actually after their drink time now, so unless we maybe run into another one just as we're going around, we're probably going to be moving on to, I think, Wild Boar. I want to say they start drinking around midnight, so maybe we can find some decent ones of them. And I guess the question is with that one, did we mess up a gold red fox? And we definitely did. 10.5, it's got to be getting close to a level 7 actually, but not too bad. Tracked him 2 kilometers, but I'm glad to actually get a decent level 1 because for once I actually felt a little better about our Yukon spawns because most of the red fox we get on the grind over there are like level 3s and 4s, and that's a lot of what's been on this map, so I guess at least I'm not the only one. And right away, at least in terms of numbers, it's a little more interesting than hunting red fox. There are quite a number of wild boar drinking here. None seem to be all that big, so I think we'll try to take probably this guy. His estimate's the best, so if we can just go ahead and line up a lung shot here with a 7mm, he probably shouldn't go anywhere, but at the very least, he's not going to run too far. Definitely got into the lungs, and actually, one warning call down here. This lake, I swear that this drink zone wasn't a thing as much in the past, but all species like fallow deer and red fox that drink here as well, they do seem to drink on this side a lot more, so we'll kind of check the tracks as we go around to go and claim him and just make sure there's no rare ones or high weight ones. From what I could tell at least, there weren't any of those over there. And we did just miss out on a gold. Gold's 98.5, this guy's 96.9, but like I said, at least there was actually a number of them out here and we were able to kind of choose which one we were going for instead of just having basically one the entire time, so looking forward to some of the other areas and hopefully finding a bunch more of them. So unfortunately, the time got changed in our last server, but I'm actually kind of curious to see how this one goes because I figured it was about time to switch anyway. And this particular server is kind of late in the evening. It's 17:30 now, and one thing that I've noticed a lot on Leighton Lakes is that it seems like hunting in the evening, coyotes are just somehow more active. I just run into more of them, and I know they're still resting. They still rest until sometime around the time it gets dark, and I'm just wondering if maybe we're gonna have the same kind of thing with red fox out here on Hirschfelden, and right away we ran into one, so maybe that is gonna be the case. And of course, once again, we actually messed up the shot, better than how we did on the level 6, but so ended up with an intestine shot. I guess better to get the bad shots out of the way now in case we run into a big one. But yeah, fallow deer should be feeding right now, so we'll kind of go through the fields and maybe hunt for them. And like I said, I'm curious to see if we actually encounter more red fox, because if we do, that might be something we should look into more. Well, it's not a red fox, but it's pretty darn cool. A level 3 albino fallow. It's obviously not going to be a gold. I think technically with that estimate would have a chance, because I want to say 172.8 or something is gold, but he certainly doesn't have the antlers for it. But it's been quite some time since we've shot a rare fallow buck on Hirschfelden, and I want to say that both of the ones we've had were piebald, so like I said, pretty cool to actually run into. We'll see if we can go ahead and get him. There was a female fox that called up there that kind of got me looking that direction. But yeah, right out there in the middle of the straw fields, that should make for a pretty cool screenshot. And we'll have to maybe see if we can get that red fox's tracks. It was a female, but maybe there was a male traveling with it. Looking like it was by itself. Just had to make sure, since there was an albino there, that it was a common. But we'll definitely get a screenshot of this. I wish we had like a sunset going on, but just the spot that he is, we can't get much of it since the hill's kind of there. But it was nice to drop him in place, because we can get a little bit of a better screenshot that way. And at least for level 3, he's not bad sized. 141.7, so it kind of adds to our collection of like kind of average sized rare fallow deer. Not too bad. 173 meter heart shot with the 7mm. And that's our second rare now, just running around on Hirschfelden. And I mean, we didn't get to see that one, we ended up with the fallow deer instead, but there was yet another red fox out, so maybe there's something to that. And just because we've done most of our red fox grinding over on Yukon, I'd maybe like to try the same thing there. I don't know what we hit, but we definitely didn't get that. I don't know if there's a rock or maybe just we hit the brush. I don't think it's worth chasing a level 3 female fox, but at least we got to see there was actually another one there. I mean, at this point, the fact that it just kind of ran out in front of us, we might as well try to get it. I think the first time we actually made a proper shot on one, and I do want to say, of the 3 now that we've shot, it's probably the smallest, so that would just about make sense. But actually, yet again, right as it kind of popped out behind the hay bales there, another one called, and there's tracks from another one right here in front of us. So I really do think there might be something to that, and we'll have to kind of experiment on Yukon, like I said, as well. But that's actually a better sized female, at least. And I think as it's getting dark here, this level 4 fallow might be the last thing we go for. Able to heart shot him like the albino, and to be honest, we spent a decent amount of time at the beginning of the hunt actually hunting at night, and it doesn't take very long to get used to hunting when it's light out, so we'll probably switch servers again, even though I'd like to actually hang around because, I mean, for one, this provided an albino really quickly, and just in general, we were seeing a good number of red fox and fallow deer out and about. But like I said, because we already spent, I mean, we were on that last server for like 2 hours, and it was all at night, I think it's time that we stick with daylight hunting. But this is definitely not a guaranteed gold level 4. He's got the rack that can end up being a silver, and in this case it actually is. Missed it by about 1.5, but at least we managed to heart shot him and can move on to hopefully another server that is going to be light out for a bit longer. So he is unfortunately just a level 4, but I had that guy's max weight estimate track and decided to go ahead and follow him because I want to say we only have 2 diamond Euro bison in the lodge, so I definitely wouldn't mind adding another, and we're actually in a good area for them. I wanted to come over here and check because this is yet another kind of evening server, and we haven't spent much time over here in Tischenau, so I figured maybe we could find some red fox along the way. But running with the 7mm, we really need this guy to offer like a good broadside shot, and they run like super slow, so it's not hard to keep up with them. It's just a matter of actually getting something lined up that might work. Should be right in there behind the shoulder. Now he's gonna run pretty far, but they run slowly, so we can kind of just keep up with him and make sure he doesn't get out of our render. And that should take him down within 30 seconds or so. And he actually didn't even make it all that far. He's only 789 kg and 228 scores, probably not too bad. I'd say that's high trophy rating for the weight, because they gotta be, I think, 860 or something for diamond, but not too bad from the 7mm. And just to see the opposite end of the Euro bison spectrum, a level 1 now. I think he's just trying to get around that rock, so we should get a broadside shot at him as well, just whenever he works his way through there. Or honestly, if he's stuck, we can hit him when he turns back if he does it again. Or even just in there like that. Guess it'll keep him from going very far, but that's kind of odd. He's really not going to make it out of there, like, at all. I've never seen an animal get stuck in something that big, and I guess it's a big animal, so it kind of makes sense, but it's not like there was a ton of obstacle there. 25 score. I'd say because he isn't like a 0.00 kg weight, that's probably not the minimum for them, but it's probably the smallest one we've taken. At least this time we didn't actually have to track it, but another max weight SM animal that is just a level 4. We'll see if we can get the shot in there. That actually managed to drop him, and there's a decent fox in there. I don't know where he was at. First time we've seen one that would be a guaranteed gold, although our shooting has not been good enough that I'm convinced it's going to be that. Yeah, we might have actually got that, so I was thinking we were getting about ready to wrap up, because we've been out here on Hirschfelden for about 3.5 hours now, similar to the last hunt, and I would certainly say, even without a diamond, it's gone considerably better. We had the 2 rares, even if they were just kind of like one female and one smaller male rare. Compared to last time, it's gone a lot better, even just with total amount of animals. So our boar is going to be a 124 score. That's not too bad. Double lunged him on the walk, and then I do actually think that looks like Vital Blood. I think we managed a gold on our red fox as well, so we kind of started off by messing up a gold. And I think we're just going to go ahead and end with a on-the-trot heart shot on one that actually made gold. And he's actually close to mythical, I'd say. I think it's somewhere like 12.1, 12.2 to end up being mythical, so not too bad. So we'll go back, I guess, to the second trophy lodge and place our red deer and fallow deer. I was looking around for a place to put the piebald red deer, but I don't think we taxidermized that, which is absolutely fine because I really only have like the wall plaques available. I don't have any more full body platforms, and a piebald red deer hind wouldn't look that good on the wall anyway, and we actually have several other ones taxidermized, but what does look good on the wall is our albino fallow deer, a 141 score, and like I said, for a level 3, that's definitely not too bad, and again, compared to the last time we spent about that much time on Hirschfelden, that hunt went way better, and really, rare fallow deer are not easy to come by, so definitely a pretty cool kill there. And actually, the little bit of information we gained with the red fox there in the evening might be able to help us with our red fox grind as well. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.